This little thing was written on a Christmas morning. I was doing I'm going to change keys just for the sake of this. It was about an hour and a half before daylight on Christmas morning, 1987, I think. And I was doing some of that assembly required stuff that sometimes and I was having trouble. Turns out I needed some batteries that I didn't know about. But I went out on my little scavenger hunt. And I got the bells ringing and the whistles whistling and the lights flashing like they were supposed to. And I had about 2 hours before daylight when the McAnally daughters were going to wake up and check under the tree. And I wasn't going to go to sleep at this point, so I just went out on the porch, started thinking about family and how much it matters to me, going backwards to my family in Mississippi and forwards to my girls where they are all over the country now. And I just got a nice picture of the family, and I wrote this little song, really easy, took about 20 minutes. And I put it on one of my unintentional collector's item CDs, where it gestated for 21 years. Until I got a telephone call from my buddy Kenny Chesney. I'm going to do a little more name dropping here. He said, "Mac, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "Nothing, because I'm honest." I said, "What are you thinking about?" And he said, "Can you come to the studio?" I said, "Yes, sir. What are we going to do?" And he said, "Well, we're going to cut one of your songs, and I don't care which one." I've been writing songs a long time, so long they stuck me in the Hall of Fame, and I never heard anybody say that before. So I started thinking like I'm a pretty big deal. Like a bigger deal than I actually am, I started thinking. Stood all the way up to my full driver's license height, which is tough on my back at this age. And I go over to the studio the next day, go in, thinking it's going to be a big deal. It's probably going to be a huge band and a camera crew and all kinds, I go in there and it's just Kenny and his engineer and him. Sitting on a wooden box, just like he is right now. Not that that's not a big deal. It just wasn't what I had pictured in my mind at that point. I just as soon see Eric sitting on a wooden box as anybody in the world. I go in and Kenny says, "Mac, what do you want to sing? I know a whole bunch of your songs." I said, "It doesn't matter to me, Kenny. I know a whole bunch of my songs too." He said, "Well, I don't have any kids of my own yet, but if and when I do, I want to tell my children what you said to your children in that song, Down the Road. Why don't we sing that? You take the second verse and we'll make it a duet." So we played it about 3 times through. Just Eric on his wooden box and me and Kenny on guitars and swapping verses. And about 45 minutes later, I'm backing out of the studio thinking to myself, that actually sounded pretty good. I thought, if it didn't have me on it, it might be a hit. Turns out I underestimated Kenny. He was able to drag me all the way up the charts like an ankle weight or something. We had a #1, we got a Grammy nomination, we got to sing it at Lambeau Field, we got to sing it at Fox, we've sung it all over. And in the context of all of those blessings, every one of which I'm grateful for, my favorite thing about this song is still the way it felt right before the sun came up on Christmas morning in 1987. Just knowing I had a picture that was correct about how much the family matters. This is called Down the Road. When I was a boy, 4 houses down from me was a family with an only child. She was the only girl in this old world that can make me smile. Down the road, I made up reasons to go down the road. took a liking to, and I asked her to marry me. She said she really wanted to. Down the road, see what life's gonna hold. Down the road, her mama wants to know, am I washed in the blood or just in the water? Her daddy wants to know that I make enough to take his daughter. Down the road, or he can let her go. Down the road, down on the street from here, there's an engineer with an only son. And our baby girl says she believes that he is the only one. Down the road, her mama wants to know, is they washed in the blood or just in the water? And I want to know that he makes enough to take my daughter. Down the road, when it comes time to go. Down the road, down the road, you know I wanna help her go. Down the road, down, down, down that road. Down, down, down that road. Appreciate Kenny Chesney and the McAnally daughters quite a bit on that one. And Mr. Wooden Box over here.